Hey guys, so this is probably one of the most painful videos I will ever have to do, and it's I just feel like if I'm feeling this out there somewhere, someone has got to be going through this or feeling this too. It is so difficult loving an alcoholic. It's literally it's just one of the most dysfunctional, gut-wrenching, hardest kinds of love I've ever had in my life. And it's my mother. And this is probably really taboo to do this video because I have a brother and a sister that I don't want this to affect their lives. But at the same time, it's like I have to vent because I'm literally so frustrated. So I call my mother every day to talk to her, to try to keep her spirits alive. And what will happen is every day I call, I'll leave her a message. And if I can't leave a message, it's because she hasn't emptied her messages on her answering machine, number one. Number two, she won't, even if she gets my message, my mother has never, ever called me back. I think my mother in my entire life, I'm in my 40s, she's called me, I want to say maybe 3 times in my entire life. And all the rest of the phone call conversations have always been from me. So it's just so hard when my husband has like the exact opposite of my mom. Just a really, really amazing mom. Now, I'm not saying that my mom has not been a wonderful mother. In fact, even though I'm frustrated and I'm really, really sad in this moment, I would not trade her or the experience with her with anyone. Like, I would not, even though it's literally like right now, I just want to like crumble up into a little ball. She can say things and do things when she's under the influence that are so lashing and so hurtful. They can absolutely disseminate you. And I think, excuse my language here, but I think I'm a strong mother, you know what? You say Ucker. And I can deal with like a lot of stuff. I've overcome a lot of stuff. And it's so hard because she raised me to just be like this really strong person and to be like an influence on women and to help, just to be this powerhouse. But then when I call her and I talk to her and she's so, I call it in her cup when she's in her cup. She's literally, I don't know of any other creature that could devour its young in 1 second like she can. And she's always been like this, and I don't know why I ever think she's gonna change. I just feel like if I love her and I love her and I love her and I love her and I love her, that she's gonna want to change her life and she's gonna want to do things differently. And I have told myself many, many, many times, do not get your hopes up. Do not do this because you're seeking an end result. But I think whether you realize it or not, as a child, you're always seeking that from your parent. But it's like an addiction that I just do not know why she returns to it. I do not know why. I don't understand it. If every time you do a behavior, an activity, you have a negative result every single time and you keep doing it, I know that's the definition of insanity, but I really do not understand it. I do not understand how you can choose that over relationships with your daughter, with your son, with your grandkids. I don't understand that. And I know, like, my rational mind goes, well, that's because you have a healthy mind and her mind isn't so. But then I'm just like, but I don't want to be like one of those judgy, preachy people either. So I don't know. I'm just like, I just feel like I'm so literally torn up inside. I'm in all of these knots that are like crisscrossing and anyway, I'm feeling literally so defeated that it's so hard what do you guys do for those of you that have loved an alcoholic, have a parent that's an alcoholic? And the word alcoholic is such a, it just doesn't, it just have, it just has all these like connotations to it, doesn't it? You think of like it just has all these connotations to it, and it's too bad that it does. I think I'm going to come up with a word for it. I need to come up with something, because it's like uglyolic. I don't know. I have to think of something. I wish, it's like, if you know, every time you open up a door and you get stung by a bee, wouldn't you know not to open up that door? It's just interesting they continue to open up the same door over and over and over and over and over again. And then you put your whole family in front of the door that the bees sting, and now it's not even you getting stung anymore. It's all your family. Wouldn't you, I just don't understand why you would not stop. But anyway, I mean, she's getting up there, so, I mean, she's not going to be around that much longer. I mean, she's getting older, but it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, because she has so much beauty, and she has so much strength, and she has so much to share in the world, that it's really frustrating. But I think, for me, what I'm realizing is, even in this video, is that, you know what, stop your bitching. You need to create a life. You think she needs that? Screw that. Don't worry about her. Worry about yourself, and what are you doing, and how are you self-actualizing, and how are you affecting and impacting the world. So I guess I'll just do that. I'll shift the energy back to myself and work on myself. But it's painful. It's one of the most painful relationships. It's probably the most painful relationship I've ever had in my entire life. And, yeah, it's probably the most painful. Yeah, it's probably the most painful. But she has good days and she has bad days. She's good weeks and she has bad weeks. And it's one of those things. The pain is only going to end. It's so weird for any of you that love alcoholics or have them in your life. It's such a horrible thought that I have, but I just think when they're dead, when she's dead, she'll stop hurting people. She'll be able to finally stop hurting people. But then the pain will be that she's forever gone. And then that's going to be a whole other pain. It's going to be like a pain that's unresolved. Because if she does die with this disease and not having a reckoning in it, which I am like 99.99999 sure that's going to happen. I am not delusional on that. But what's sad for me is that she'll never have conquered that beast. And that's like gut-wrenching. That's gut-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching for me. One of the things that I learned with loving her is that you have to find love within yourself. I've had to find love within myself. And you have to heal all those little parts of you that didn't get loved, that didn't get phone calls, that didn't get Christmas cards, that didn't get birthday cards, that didn't get phone calls, that just weren't loved. You have to step up and you have to love her. You have to love that space within you. And I think that's what I'm going to do more of, is just really loving myself. And not in like a narcissistic way, but just like in a real gentle way, like being gentle with myself and being loving of myself and just being able to release, you know, the darkness and the pain and those painful memories, just letting them go, and just fully realizing that God does love me, and God did put me in her life to have her. He chose her as my mother. So there are many lessons that I'm supposed to get in this lifetime. I do love her, and tomorrow I will wake up and I will call her again, because that's what I do. And my whole thing is that I don't want anybody else to dictate who I am, and who I am is a loving force of nature, of energy that just refuses to give up on her. And I think I've been more accepting of just who she is in the space that she's in. And I have a husband, every time he'll come in and she'll be yelling at me, he'll just say, "Don't yell, don't yell." And because I mean, literally, like in 1 second, she can say something to me. It can just even mean expression that I can go to 100. And it's like, what I've decided now to do is that when she takes me out of my equilibrium, is I just say, I need to go. I don't like who I'm about to become. And then I hang up. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I guess I just need to surrender to that. I guess that's what's just hard. It's hard. It's hard to surrender to knowing that that person is never going to conquer that beast. I don't know why, because if you love an alcoholic, you know that they have just such beautiful parts to them when they're sober. When their mind is alert and they're sober, they just are some of the most beautiful people. In fact, if I had my choice of friends, I would choose addicts. Why would I choose addicts? Because I believe an addict is an addict because their brain is designed in such a way that they're sensitive to things beyond measure of what normal people, and I say normal in quotes, who's really normal, but you know what I mean. And there's a sensitivity in there, and there is a grace in there, and there is a beauty in there, and there's a way in which they are impermeable to they're impermeable to normal thinking. And I think that's why I love my mother so much, because she's so real, and she's so guttural, and she's so I don't know, there's no playing with her. And I think that's one of the reasons I communicate the way I communicate, and why I choose to divulge everything I do on my YouTube channel, is because I want to always be a seeker of truth, and I want to live a life that would make her proud. Never gonna hear her say that. But you know what? If you're watching this and you're a daughter of an alcoholic, or you love an alcoholic, or I'll just speak of being a daughter because that's all I can speak on, that I just want you to know, let's just pretend. Let's pretend for a moment, okay? We're going to pretend like I'm your mom. And I'm going to say to you, I love you. I love you. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so very proud of you. You are amazing. You are amazing. Everything that you've overcome and everything you fought through, you are amazing. You are beautiful beyond measure, and you are amazing. Just keep those words in your mind. If I ever got a phone call like that, it just would be so neat. So instead of, I'll never get that phone call, ever. That I could put my life on, because she doesn't speak like that. But what I will do is, instead of expecting that phone call, I want to give it to myself, and I want to give it to you. So, you are amazing. And also, let's just love them. Let's love them for who they are. Let's love them in spite of their difficulties. Let's love them in spite of what it is their nest is that they see out of. Let's just try to stand and be a force of love. I will call her tomorrow. I just also need to, if I see myself going out of my center, I also am not going to let that power go. I have to just take a time out. I called her today because I had so many exciting things I wanted to talk to her about. And I never even got to tell her. Anyway, I love you guys. I mean that. I do these videos in this channel because when I go through moments like this, I think, gosh, is there anybody out there that would be going through the same thing or that would understand? And it's a shameful thing to say that, right? Because you don't want to disparage or I have so much love for my mother in spite of everything she's done. But it's one of those things, like, if my mom had cancer or she had MS or something like that, like, there would be no shame in talking about that, would there? No, there wouldn't be at all. So, my mom has MS, or she has cancer, or she has whatever. I mean, it's called, her brain is a result of drinking too much alcohol. And it's not like she's this stumbling person, but she just, I don't even know. It's one of those things, because she says she doesn't even have alcohol around the house. It's one of those things that I think they call it a dry alcoholic. I'm not really sure of the terminology, but it's one of those things that it's like, even if, I don't know what does it. I personally think she has to be drinking, but she says she doesn't have any alcohol in the house, but that doesn't mean anything to me. Probably know she is, but sorry, I keep getting interrupted on this, but that was my husband that just called me. And so I just want to end this video just talking, just really quick, if you guys do, have relationships that are affected, like, or impacted like mine is, I want to tell you, seek out and search for the answers within yourself, number one. Number two, when you are trying to find a partner, you want to find someone that aligns with you spiritually, someone that has a tender heart, and someone that can just nestle in there with your nest, and someone that in one phone call, like I just talked to him, that's why the video just ended real abruptly there, but it's literally like in one conversation, he can bring light to my steps and lightness to my heart, and he has the ability to get me to have empathy and compassion for her again, and that's what you want. You want to find a partner that really can give that to you. And if maybe you've already made your choice in partners before you kind of psychologically dealt with all this, and maybe your partner, you just need to communicate with your partner and just authentically say, like, yo, this really affects me, and this really hurts me when my mom does this. I really need you to listen. I need you to just, be there for me. But God's got your back, you guys. God's got you. And I know He has. I know He has my mom. And I know He has me, and I know He has my husband. I know that. But it's really painful. It's painful. It's a very, very painful. It's a very, very, very painful relationship. But anyway, I love you guys all so much. And when I say to stand in your light, when I say that, I mean to go and find your light. Find a place where you can stand and just feel lightness go over your body. Find people that bring you light. Find situations that bring you light. Find books that bring you light. Find music that brings you light. Find a source that brings you light. Stand in your truth. So what I mean by that is stand rooted in your truth. Who are you? What is your message? What is your legacy? What is your purpose? What is your passion? And then the third one that I say, above all else, be a warrior. Be a warrior. Fight. Fight for... I will fight for my mom until they take breath out of my body. I will fight for a stranger, a woman who's being beaten. I will fight to bring her videos of empowerment and messages of love. I will always be a warrior. I was born as a fighter and as a warrior. So do those three things, and just know that I am a champion for women, and I want all of you to be champions for women. Okay? So here we go. Remember to stand in your light, to stand in your truth, and above all else, be a warrior. Be a champion for women. I love you guys. I love you so much. Don't forget that. Don't forget you are worthy of being loved. Okay? I love you.